Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. Today is the first the discourse of the series Know and Love. After 2 months vacation, the, we are welcoming you all over here. And today I will be giving a talk on a beautiful subject, the one who realized God through different paths. I don't know whether I will be able to complete it today or not. Maybe. If I cannot, then I have to continue. Now, before that, let us chant the Pranam Mantra Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Please repeat after me. Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma sarupine avatar varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. I bow down to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who is the greatest avatar of God, incarnation of God. Now, this avatar, what he did, sthapakaya cha dharmasya. He manifested in a human form to establish the dharma, and also he established and propagated all religious paths. Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharma sarupine. He was the embodiment of all religious paths. You know, friends, that most difficult thing of all the objects that the human being they tried is God realization. It's the most difficult. Those who ever tried, they know it very well. Why it is so difficult? Because we go against our mind. Our mind is programmed in such a way that it goes to the world. And now you have to take out the mind from the worldly objects and you have to point it to the completely different thing, that is the God. Who is going to do it? Our mind. And who is objecting it? Who is not doing it? Our mind. So our mind, which is loving to go out and to enjoy the worldly objects, now I have to take out from there and to point it out towards God. So that is the main problem. It's the mind only, my mind. And who is doing it? Me. Am I different than my mind? That is the question. If I am not different than my mind, I will never be able to control my mind. Obviously, I am different than my mind. Now, sometimes we think, no, I should not do this. My mind wants to go over here, there. I say, no, I am not going to do this. I should not do that. I guide my mind. That means I have a separate personality away from my mind, different from my mind, and I can control my mind. What is the problem? Suppose it goes to the worldly objects and enjoys over there. What is the problem? Problem is suffering. We go and enjoy for some time and then we suffer again and again and again. And that is our experience. And that is the reason at the fag end of our life, none of us are happy. And we do everything for our happiness. But we are not happy. We can't become happy. What is the reason? Reason that these things that we are thinking will give me happiness, in reality cannot give us happiness. Now some people, they say, okay, now why don't you try other way? Try to find out the peace, the heaven within yourself, the happiness within yourself. Blessed are those who are pure in heart, but they shall see God. Okay, now to see God, I have to purify my mind. Blessed are those who are pure in heart. And what is that purity? Obviously not these worldly objects. That's for sure. Had it been, then there was not, the teachers were not necessary. It was automatically our mind is going. We need not to teach a child, you go and do this and do that. Automatically it will. Why? It is in the nature. And we have to fight against our nature. Swami Vivekananda, in the beginning of his the Raja Yoga, he said, each soul is potentially divine. The divine, that word he is mentioning, potentially. It is there already, but we have to manifest it. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within. The goal to manifest the divinity. Now he says, how? By controlling nature, external and internal. That much. We have to control the external nature and have to control the internal nature also. Controlling the external nature is no problem. The outside it is so cold. Inside we are in a cozy, warm atmosphere. Why? We have conquered. So we have conquered the external world. By that way, the human being is on the top of the whole thing. That so many millions of species are there in the world, but human being on the top of it, because hate, because the thought, because the intellect, they can control the external nature. And that, to some extent, we can say, not if not completely, we are successful. Now the second is controlling the internal nature. And what is the internal nature? Jealousy, hatred, love, anger, and one after another. There are so many, and they're all subtle. You cannot go and touch a jealousy. You cannot catch a jealousy and put it in the room. Hey, be here till I come back. You cannot do that. It will be always with you, moving with you. And without that, you are not there. Your personality is that. Your being is that. Then what to do? Now here comes the avatar. This is the God now comes down to guide us. So why the God, the Supreme Being, is taking a human form and coming down to the earth and living just like an ordinary human being, and physically all these problems are there, torturings are there. Why? The Son of God, as they call him, Jesus, he was tortured and killed by those people for whom he had invented, for whom he came down. It was not necessary for him. But he came only to teach them this. So 2,000 years. And slowly, slowly we are understanding what actually he tried to teach us. The whole teaching, the one word, if we say, the teaching of Lord Jesus, Love, and nothing else, only love. So love is the teaching of Lord Jesus. Then similarly, the God is coming and trying to guide us. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. In the Bhagavad Gita it says, O Arjuna, and he is addressing the Arjuna as the Bharata. And then the God comes to reestablish the righteousness. How? By punishing the bad people and helping the good people. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. Obhuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamaham. Atmanam sujamaham. It is not like the karma phala. We take birth because of the karma phala. I am not entering into that discussion. It's a big discussion. So karma phala is there. So we are bound by that. But he is not. Why he is coming? Out of his own will. And to guide us, to put us on the right rail so that we can again move. We were derailed and now we are putting. And that is the way, first, he will be punishing the bad and giving the help to the good people. That is what the avatars they always do. And the avatars means establishing the dharma, the righteousness. And what is righteousness? What is dharma ultimately for the human being? The living nicely, happily? No. Understanding his own personality. Who is he? That is the dharma. And that is why the rishis, they say, Atmanam Vitti. You must know your own self. And same with the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he said, God realization is the goal of human life. What is the goal of human life? God realization. And that, who is that God? I am. I am that God. But I have forgotten that. A king's son, he forgot that he is the king's son. He is the prince. And he is thinking, oh, I have forgotten where I am going, what will happen to me. He is going and asking everyone, do you know me? Do you know who is my father? Can I reach to my father? He's going on asking like that. Then suddenly one day he found out, yes, this is me, I am the king. And I am the monarch of all that I survey, he will say that. We are also just like that. You know, Vedanta says, you are God, but I don't know why you are crying. Kim rodasi sakhe toi sarva shakti. Why you are crying, my friend? Sakhe. Sakhe means friend. Kim rodasi, why you are crying, my friend? Toi sarva shakti. You are that supreme power. And what is the supreme power? You can become happy. How I can become happy? Understanding that I am eternal. I am not going to lose anything. And all these things that I see is just like very, very ordinary, temporary things. It's nothing like that. When we cut the nails, do we cry? The nails have grown up and we cut it. It grew up on my own finger. And I am cutting my own nail and throwing it. Of course, I saw some ladies keeping so big nails. But anyway, it will be more bigger if they are not cutting. So we are constantly cutting the nails and throw it. Why? Though it is a part of our body, but we know it will come up again. Similarly, we will be taking birth again and again and again. Whether we like it or not, believe it or not, we are going to take birth. But if we are thinking properly, positively, then our birth will be on higher and higher positions. And then one day we'll be able to understand that I am that. I am that. That is that. Then one young man, he observed the characters of this universe. And he was a prince. He saw an old man. He saw a diseased person. He saw a dead man. He saw a monk. And he started thinking, oh, everything is changing. But look at this monk. He is happy. How come? In this world, which everything is changing, and everyone are afraid that, oh, I am going to be old, I am going to die, I am losing. But look at this man, this monk, he's so happy. What is the reason? So he decided that he should also become like that. And what he did, he didn't go and conquer the whole world. He sat under a tree and then plunged within himself and came out with the truth. And that he declared. And the people, the whole world called him Buddha. What is this Buddha? Buddha means knowledgeable one. He has realized. He was a Gautama by name. And then he became the Buddha. And what is that knowledge? I am eternal. But where is that Buddha? Where is his body? The body never. That is a great mistake again. The body is not, because it's a composition of 5 things. Then what is eternal? Our Atman. And what is this Atman again? Our consciousness. And what is this consciousness? That which still remain when we forget our body and mind in the sleep. When we sleep, we forget our body. Then we entered into our dream world. Then in the dream also, after the dream, we entered into a condition and a situation where there is no dream. That means mind is also absent. Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti, the 3 stages they call. Jagrat means the waking stage. Then the Swapna, my body I have forgotten, my mind is active. Susupti, dreamless sleep condition. I don't see the dream also. And when I don't see the dream, where I am then? I am not the body, I am not the mind, then where I am? That proves the consciousness. And where they remain, that consciousness? Everywhere. And moment I again wake up, the reflection calm and my function begins. So that is the way. When we close everything, all the windows and doors, put up the lights, this room is dark. We can't see anything in this room. That is the dreamless sleep condition. And where the light goes, it is already there, somewhere, waiting for you to get up and remove the curtain. The moment we remove the curtain, again the light comes. Is this the same light? Of course, but not that own myself will come only to me, not like that. It is a reflection. It is that light that is reflecting on my buddhi, on my intellect, and started again. I remember, oh, this is me. Sometimes in the morning, you get up and you say, oh, is this morning or afternoon? Sometimes it happens to the people. And they are sleeping and getting up in the midnight and thinking, is it morning or what is it now? Then immediately they will search by the side of the pillow. Oh, yeah, now this is. Then why we can't recognize? Because our mind is also not giving us the proper information. Friends, these are the problems with the mind. Now, we have to realize God. That means the ultimate truth, the source of joy, the source of happiness, source of eternity. We don't like to die. We like to be here eternally. So obviously, what is that source? Then the God comes down and he says, well, follow this path. This is the time when the challenges are really, really terrible. And this is called Kali Yuga according to our scripture. And the Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. In the Satya Yuga, all people were good people. So no avatar was necessary. In the next Yuga, a few people only, not all, they were good people, at the same time they were bad also, because ego. Ravana, he knew all the scripture, and he used to meditate on Shiva. He composed a beautiful, the stotra on the Shiva. He was a great devotee of Shiva, but at the same time ego, and also the different type of other things, abducted the wife of somebody else, and all this problem came, and he was killed. So that is Ravana. Not that he was not a good person, he was. And they say 10 heads, that means he was as if equal to 10 people. So intelligent, so brave, so powerful. Equal to 10 people. Not that physically he was having 10 heads. This is a way of saying equal to 10 people. Then the other person also, the Sugriva and all others, they are powerful but egoistic. So obviously, an avatar came and he showed that you should believe like this, Ramachandra. Then the third avatar, Krishna, had a big difficulty because many of the people, they were behaving completely in the opposite way not the way the God wanted. So Satya, Treta, Dwapara, now is the Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, what is the symbol of Kali Yuga? Ego, falsehood, and physical comfort. People, they only understand this body and nothing else. From the very young age, they think that, oh, this is the body, I will do this. They're going for drinking, then dancing, and they can't understand anything else about that. And the falsehood and the ego, these are rampant everywhere. Then what to do? At the time of Ramchandra, he punished only 2-3 people. That was sufficient. And the Krishna, he divided good and bad, and with the help of the good, they vanquished all bad people, punished the bad people. But now, everywhere the same. Then what to do? Wearing the clothes of the holy people, and they are talking irreligious words, asking people to attack others, killing others. That is not the religion. Religion teaches love only. That means he doesn't know what is religion, but preaching religion. So the problem is everywhere. So it was necessary for the God to come with his complete power, full power. And what happened? How to come? So he chose a person who was truly a man of truth. Shudiram Chattopadhyay. If you can remember his name, Shudiram Chattopadhyay, a very humble Brahmin. And of course, he was having sufficient land to support his family. He was a happy person. But his character was, he never ever said the untruth. So that was the Shudiram Chattopadhyay. You know, that is the reason. Shatya. Shatya is the characteristics of the Satya Yuga, truth. Is the characteristics of the Satya Yuga. So the Supreme God took these and he told, I am coming down to you. This is the picture that shows that the Shudiram Chattopadhyay, he is getting the God's vision, the God, the Supreme Vishnu. He is telling, I like to be your son. And the poor Brahmin said, how come? I don't have sufficient food even. And how can I serve you? You are the Supreme God. He said, don't worry. I will take care of that. So in the Gaya Dhama, if you go to India, this is a very famous place, the Gaya Dhama, where the Lord Vishnu still remains, they believe. That is the temple. And that is the Vishnu Padapadda. And I went over here, the Vishnu Padapadda. I took a picture of that also for our book. And this, where he got the vision. And then again, when the father, he was getting the vision of the Lord Vishnu, and in the long, I think far away, almost like 1,000 miles away, in a village, now there's the birthplace of Sri Ramakrishna, in Kamarpukur, there is still that Shiva temple is there. Recently I was visiting, I entered into that temple. The mother of the Sri Ramakrishna, she was standing over there with some of her friends. Then suddenly, a huge light, she suddenly saw the waves of lights are coming out from that temple and entering into her person. And Lord Shiva also appeared. And this is the Lord Vishnu and the Shiva, both of them came over there. And whenever you see the life, and all the time, they are very humble. So this is the place that you see, this where he was taken birth. That was the paddy machine, the pushing by the feet, the villagers they used to do. So in that was a small little room where they used to ask that. That was the room where Sri Ramakrishna took birth. And immediately after taking birth, he slipped into by the side, if you see, that is showing, and there was a small hearth, and there was some on the the wood was burnt, some ashes was there. So the little baby went into that. Finally, they find him like a Shiva. He is all over smeared with that ashes, lying down very happily. So when we see the life of Jesus Christ, the Lord of the whole world, he was born in a little the stable. He was not having a proper place also. His parents were lost into a stable, and there he was born. So he was kept in a manger. So similarly, we see the Lord, he never cares for 5-star, 7-star hotel. It's a very, very humble beginning. And there it is written over there, if you go, and you will be finding. At present, that place is now like this. There's a big temple with beautiful flower garden and really, really wonderful. But they are keeping it as it is. If you go, you will find the same room. So you can see the history. These are the rooms, original rooms that you see, that the mud heart over there, and this is the temple this side. Another side, what you see is that family deity, Raghuvir. His father used to worship the Raghuvir, so this is the family deity over there. Now that God was born over there, he was growing up in that village atmosphere, very simple, guileless people, and each and every one of them, they were really, really good. No hatred, no hypocrisy, very simple and nice people. God took birth into that, he was growing up. But God never forgets that his own nature. When the Jesus was very young, and there was a debate going on, and this young boy, he went into that synagogue, he sat with those people, the parents didn't notice. Afterwards, they found out, where is the child? They again came back and found that he is sitting with the other people, enjoying the debate on God, on the philosophy. Here also, this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he was walking in a field, paddy field, lush green everywhere, and suddenly he saw at the background of the black cloud, the white cranes are flying, the beauty that reminded him the beauty of God. That was the first time at the age of 5 he had that meditation, natural meditation, you can say samadhi. He was in samadhi. Then afterwards we find some of the ladies, they were going to the one place called Vishalakshi. Akshi means the eye. Vishala means big. That means it is God. The God has 2 big eyes, constantly looking at us. These eyes are not having the eyelids, so that we cannot do anything wrong, constantly watching us. And there's the Vishalakshi in Sanskrit. And these ladies, they were going to Vishalakshi. Now, that is not very far from the birthplace of Sri Ramakrishna. The village ladies, they used to go and worship. This boy went here, actually young little boy, along with the mother and the aunties, the little boys, all they go. And he noticed that all ladies are chatting and something else, not about God. They're going to a temple, they're going for the worship, but they're thinking something else. But that little boy of 6 years, 7 years, he cannot teach the teaching for the elderly ladies. So he took himself and then went into samadhi. Then all ladies, they were concerned what happened to this boy, maybe because of the sun ray and all that. Suddenly one lady started chanting the name of God. And the moment she started chanting the name of God, the boy got up. And from there, he taught, when you are going to a temple, think about God, talk about God, not other things. Because your purpose will be lost. You are going to a holy place. So we go to the holy places for socializing. Sunday we could go to the church and with the best dress and then socializing. Hey, I didn't see you last time. Where you were? Ah, you went to my son. All these discussions. Not a single word about God. So they actually make the great mistake. The God is teaching us. God in that way, He is trying to teach us. Now here we find another thing that happened. I don't know whether in America it was there or not, but all over India there's called Jatra. Jatra means the villagers, they used to organize a drama, and they'll be putting on different type of dresses, and then there'll be dialogue and all. So there was a Shiva Jatra, about the life of Shiva. But the character, the Shiva, he became sick. So what to do? Because everybody is present already, and all other actresses are there. Only the Shiva was not there. Then someone told, why not Gadadhar? His name was Gadadhar. Because he is a very good, he can say, and he looks like a Shiva. So they dressed him like a Shiva. But lo, the moment he dressed like a Shiva, we went into that thought of Shiva, and third at Samadhi happened with that Shiva dress. So that is again and again. And here we find the Gadadhara accepting the fast Viksha. In India, there are 4 castes are there. The Brahmin, then the Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. According to the job that they do, they're supposed to be. But because of the long thing that it has become mixed up, and the people started thinking a Brahmin's father's son is also a Brahmin. It was not like that. You have to develop the characteristics, you have to develop some qualities to become a Brahmin. But anyway, he was a Brahmin, and Brahmins they get when they are 5 years, 6 years, or 7 years, max 8 years, you have to have the Yagya Upavita, a trade, to remind that young boy that you are a Brahmin and you are supposed to tell the truth. You are supposed to love God. You are supposed to study scripture. You are supposed to live like this. There are 7, the balls are there. Every day you are touching the 7 promises. At the age of 7 promises, and you have to grow with that. Your life should be like that. That is called Brahman. So, but the society was like that. As because they are the higher caste, he will go out and beg from someone. Here in America, begging they never accept that. Oh, it's a very bad thing. Of course, every society, begging is really, really bad. But for a Brahmin, he lives on alms because he is not earning anything. Rather, he is giving the knowledge of the God. So that is, he is giving you the philosophy. He is giving the idea of the life. And in return, he is accepting some food from you. That is called alms. But fast, when you are going to beg in that ceremony, you should get it from a higher caste lady. But the old lady, she used to love this young boy, and she told Gadai, please promise that the first alms you should have from me. And that young boy also gave the word, yes, the first day I will accept it from you. When the time came, when Gadai told, no, I gave the word to that lady, I must accept the first alms from her. Others told, how it is possible? You are breaking the tradition. That is not possible. He said, see, if I am not keeping my word, then I am not a Brahmin. As a Brahmin means he will never break his promises. I have promised that I will accept that. If I am not taking that, keeping the word, I am not a Brahmin, and no question of having this trait. So they had to, the whole village had to accept the way of thinking and what he taught. It is not the birth, it is the character, it is the behavior, it is how you live that counts. So this the way he is. Another incident also is mentioning, there was another person He was also from a very low birth, but he realized that this young boy is nothing but God. So he used to take him in a separate place, used to offer flour, food, and worship him secretly. And used to tell him, Godai, I am now very old. I will never see you growing up. But I know you are God. When the people in the world will call you as God, remember I am the first person recognized you. It's really, really very difficult to recognize a God in human form. And they tried to kill Lord Buddha. They were successful killing Lord Jesus. And what they did? They wanted to love them. They taught them love only. They didn't ask anything from them. But still people are so cruel. And they find, oh, it is so easy target. So kill them. So that is the nature, character of the people. God is coming to give them the upliftment to the spirituality. But this gentleman, he realized God. When he became little grown up, then his mother found that he is not studying at all. He is going on playing and all that. And he told, you are a Brahmin boy. And your profession is to perform the puja. And you must learn it from your elder brother. Go along with him to Calcutta. Learn the puja and earn some money so that afterwards you can support your family. That is the only way a Brahmin can earn some money. He said, Mother, I am going with my elder brother. I will go. I will learn puja also. But I am not going to accept money against puja. Because puja is a holy thing, and I am offering in exchange, I should have money. No, that won't be. So that is his. If you know the Bengali, you can enjoy. He said, "Chal kola badha bidda shigvana." I'm not going to learn that knowledge by which I have to earn. No, I am not. Knowledge should be always free. I am not going to earn that. At the first place, he came over here. So there were all rich people in Calcutta. Calcutta, then the capital of the British India. So all rich people used to live. So there was a temple. And he, as a young boy of 16, 17 years, he became the first priest of the Vishnu. Now I will ask you to remember, he first worshipped his own family deity, Ramachandra, Raghuvira. Then he came and started worshipping Krishna and the Vaishnava. And also he used to visit the Siddheshwari Kali. Siddheshwari Kali, the rich person, he established a Kali temple, that is the Siddheshwari Kali. And this is the rich man's house. I visited now, this time. No, not like this. Something has broken, but still some portion you can see like a palace, huge palace. So they were very rich. Sri Ramakrishna used to go and worship here. This is the Kali temple. He used to go and sit and sing before Goddess Kali. And this is the Dakshineshwar. From here began the main life. In the Dakshineshwar, when he reached over there, and you know that 1855, he was born in 1836. And in 1855, he is worshipping Goddess Kali. Before that, he has worshipped the Rama, he has worshipped the Krishna, and now the Kali. So in Hinduism, there are three main paths. One is Vaishnava, one is Tantra, and Vedanta. The Vaishnava is the Rama, the Krishna, Tantra is the Kali, Shiva, and Vedanta is completely different. Only meditation, there is no God and goddesses. They don't believe in the form of God and goddess. The Sri Ramakrishna, a man who realized God through all these paths. So when he came over here at Dakshineshwar, So he did a very wonderful thing. First, he started worshipping that Radhakanta temple. And in those days, people were so conservative. Those who were worshipping Kali, they will never look at the temple of Krishna or Rama. So conservative people they were. But now, the moment the Sri Ramakrishna coming to that field, now there was a lady, she was very, very rich. Even the Britishers were afraid of her. So a very courageous lady, Rani Rashmani. The Rani Rashmani, when the Indians, they go for any rituals and any puja, they'll be beating the drums. But the Britishers were there, they were disgusted. Why you are beating the drums? Stop beating the drums, they said. And some people, they were going to immerse that images in the Ganga. That is the process. And you are supposed to beat the drum. But you are not doing it. What to do? And the news reached to that lady. You know what happened? He hired 1,000 drummers. And then he told, hey, go and playing the whole road. The Britishers used to live in both the sides. 1,000 drummers beating, and the people in a procession going to the Ganga river to emerge. Britishers thought it is better allow her, otherwise maybe 1 lakh will come. So 1,000. She was so courageous. People were afraid of the rulers, Britishers. She was not. And that lady constructed the huge temple. And in 1855, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna came over here and he started his real practices, austerities, here only. In the beginning, he said, I am not going to eat anything that has been cooked by these people. I should cook my own food. That is the very traditional people, they say always that you should cook your own food. Why? Because when the people, those who are cooking here and there, they have a different type of minds. And when they are cooking, and sometimes they are touching, eating, that also gets the contaminated. If I am using the word contamination, their thoughts get attached with that food. So it is better to avoid that type of food. Very different type of thoughts are there. So the holy people, they always try to avoid this type of food. Because I am fighting with my own thoughts. And that has been accumulated from life after life. And that is a huge jungle I have to clean. No, you are again adding, so it is better to avoid. So that was the way they used to do. And Sri Ramakrishna told, I will take the raw rice and I will cook it and then I will eat. You know who was the priest at that time in the temple? His elder brother. Though his elder brother was the priest, even then he said no. Why? To show us. And what Swami Vivekananda, very unique way he presented, he said, it is better to born in a church, not to die there. You know, the way we think, we should not accept others' food, that they have touched this, they have touched that, we should not do, we should not do. That is a way. Okay, but you have to grow up. Exactly that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna taught us there. He started that life, not taking anything, not accepting anything. Then when he finally became Sri Ramakrishna, the teacher, you know what he did? He went to Calcutta and he told, I want to eat something, I am thirsty, bring some water. They were taken aback because that was the place where the Europeans, they used to live. And in those days, the Hindus, they will never touch anything made of the Europeans. So no. You cannot take food made of these people. He said, I am hungry, I am thirsty. Go and bring some water. Then the one that his disciple said, but sir, they are not Hindus. What is there? Go and clean the glass and bring a glass of water. That's Sri Ramakrishna. So that time, he never differentiated because after the realization, we know all are holy. Externally, we are different. Apparently, we are different, but inside we are all that same God that is residing. Sri Ramakrishna started worshipping this Kali and then the Shiva, and this photo I must show you. This is the banyan tree. Still, it is there, but because of the crowd, they don't allow to go near it. When we were children, when we were young people, we used to go and sit over here and try to meditate. We used to live in Calcutta, so not very far. Sometimes we used to go and sit under, and just by this side, the Ganga river is flowing, very calm and composed. Sri Ramakrishna used to sit and meditate under this banyan tree. And Swami Vivekananda once went and meditated over here. These are all beautiful stories associated with this place. 12 long years Sri Ramakrishna practiced meditation, forgetting everything. So this is that famous banyan tree of the Dakshineshwar. So this where we used to meditate. Now here, I'm just touching his biography. This is the person that Jamindar, he used to help him. And this Mathuranath Vishwas. Mathuranath Vishwas, he was the landlord of the Dakshineshwar. When Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna came, he was a young man. And he was thinking, we need a priest, but will this boy be able to do it? And he found that he is making the images of Lord Shiva out of the clay, and he's, oh my, so perfect. So he went and asked, young man, do you like to worship in our temple? He said, if my elder brother permits, I can. Elder brother agreed, so he started puja. First, he took the mantra diksha from a Vaishnava and then worshipped. Afterwards, he took the mantra diksha from a tantric and did the tantra, the Kali sadhana. This is the Kali sadhana he did. And when he used to worship, day and night, he used to cry, cry, and cry. Then one of our Swamiji, in his talk, he said, if you can cry for God for 24 hours, non-stop, you will realize God. And that happened in the San Francisco. Then one lady told us, 24 hours? We cry all the time, no problem, I will try. Then she entered into her room, closed the door, started crying, but after 1 hour, she herself came out and said, I don't know why I can't cry now. And forget about the crying for the worldly things. Oh, that man insulted me, so 1 hour I can cry. Oh, this thing is going to happen, another hour. But crying for God, it is a love, crying for the love, that is very, very difficult. And when you are crying for God, your tears will roll down from this side, not from here. That is also the Marx says there, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said. When we usually cry out of fear, out of insult, out of all this, then despair, then it comes through this side, at the far end side. But when it is for God, it will come close to the nose. Try to see whether it is coming. So when we can cry, and this young boy of 17, 18 years, he was crying, crying, and crying day after day. He never knew when the sun rose and set up. Every day and night he went on like this. People thought he has gone mad. They never saw this type of the spiritual practices. What we do, in the evening we go to the temple, we meditate for 1 hour, and that is in the morning 1 hour, that is sufficient. And sometimes some people, they will be writing, Swamiji, you have asked me to take the name of God 108 times, but I am not finding time, so can I make it 54, 54? 108 times, that takes only 3 minutes, that is also 54. So this is the way he used to, and this is the room where he lived for all the 12 years. He became that, merged into that. There's still those rooms and buildings are there. Then one day, when he used to pray like this, these are all paintings, he used to pray like this, rubbing his face on the mud and on the bank of the Ganga, and he used to cry, Mother, again the sun is setting, again one day is gone, and I have lost one day from my life, but I have not yet realized God. What will happen to me? Every day, every hour, he was thinking, I am going to die this moment. What will happen without God realization? How can I die? Why he was teaching that, doing that? To teach us. It is not a fancy. When you think of God realization in a very cozy and that sitting room, we'll be discussing about Vedanta. You are Brahman, I am Brahman. You are God, I am God. All those things are different. But when you really, really sincere about God, this is the way you have to pray. And then ultimately, it went into this way that one day, he became so intense. And he told Mother, today, this moment, if you are not revealing thyself, I am going to kill myself. So he took up that sword from the hand of the mother and wanted to kill himself. And that very moment, Ma Kali, in the form of light, came and made his mind calm. That was the God realization. And Sri Ramakrishna, he became Paramahamsa. What is a Paramahamsa? Because the Hamsa means swan. The swan, it lives in the water, but it's not wet by the water. It's always dry. Similarly, a man should live in the world, living the world and living in the forest and in the cave. Anyone can try that. But while you are living in the world, all around people, they're telling lies and doing bad things and different things, criticizing you or whatever, all this going on. But you are not touched by that. Why? Because you have realized that you are free from all those things. That is called Paramahamsa condition. This Paramahamsa, the supreme swan, that is the condition, there's a symbol that you are not touched by anything. Sri Ramakrishna didn't leave. He never went to the forest or in the cave or in a seclusion. After all these practices, he was there in the city and used to visit almost all the people, the known people in Calcutta in those days, and used to go on trying because they were rich, they were educated, but they were very egoistic. He used to go and tell them, you have everything, just remove the ego and you will get what you want. So he went on. Now, friends, I think in the next the session, we'll be discussing about how he practiced one after another. The lady came and she taught him the Tantra. The Tantra is a way of to God realization because a group of people, the philosophers, they believe it is the Shakti, it's the power. With that power, we can blink. With that power, we can move our hands. With that power, we can think. And we are forgetting that power. What is that power? They say that is Tantra. That is the God, Goddess. So Tantra doesn't mean, whenever we hear about Tantra, we think the goddess Kali cutting the heads of the people. And no, it is not. That's all stories. But true philosophy is Tanyate, Vistaryate, Jnanam, Iti Tantram. Tantra means when the knowledge, which is all pervasive, is realized, is Tantra. And what is that knowledge? That the intellect and the power, when comes together, creation starts. And what is that intellect? Shiva. And what is the action? Goddess Kali. So we will discuss in our next class again. And from this, he practiced the Tantra, 64 Tantras. One Tantra is sufficient. 64 different ways, one after another, Sri Ramakrishna practiced. When you look at this picture, it's so simple. Wearing a dhoti, standing like this, but power. Those who know about the philosophy, those who know the spiritual practices, they all bow down their head at his feet. This is Sri Ramakrishna. We will see how he is practicing all paths, realizing one after another. Then finally, he is saying this: as many faiths, so many paths. It's not just a poetry that he said, or a very wonderful way he is coining the words, nothing like that. He realized that is the truth. And on the basis of that, we are trying over here in the Home of Harmony to tell people your path is also valid, but don't please criticize others. That will be sufficient. Thank you, friends. Let us say Shanti 3 times. Do you have any question on this? Then we can try to answer. If not, we'll say Shanti 3 times. Okay? So please repeat after me. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om. Thank you.